Welcome everybody, I'm IGP, and today we are back with more Hello Neighbor. Now this episode is going to focus mainly on one theory that everyone and their mother has been asking me to cover. They must assume, IGP, you debunked the cutscenes and everything else in the game so well, we want you to take a stab at the golden apple theory. So I'm going to do that today. Now, even though there are so many players that have spent so many hours dissecting this game in its entirety, and no one has found anything about the golden apple, people are still convinced that the developers had put this in here so carefully and no one has figured it out yet. But maybe today, just maybe, we can accomplish this and find out the truth. Using our wits, logic, and reason, we are going to examine all the clues available in the Alpha 1 to see if there's anything or any sign about this golden apple and its supposed existence. So if you guys are still excited about Hello Neighbor, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section below if I miss anything. That kind of tends to happen. But I went ahead and did everything for you. So the guy's locked up. I already unlocked all of the end game stuff. That was stupid. So basically, we're gonna go ahead and go upstairs. That's the first part. And all of the clues to the apples, or the golden apple, is up here. The first one you're probably gonna run into is in the rifle range. Now before you put down anything, we're gonna take this off actually. Before you put down anything, you have this, without this being open, and we have this chart over here telling you what prize you will get based on the score that you make in the game of rifle. I don't know, the score's not even accurate. I think again it was a placeholder thing that's just there to show you how it's gonna work and not necessarily accurate to the point system. Anyway, the first one is the biggest one. Obviously that's an apple, right? People are convinced that this is golden rather than a regular, green apple. We're talking about a very slightly discolored yellow apple. Now, here's my problem with this chart right here. Now, this golden apple is supposed to be such a big secret, right? And we want to flaunt it in front of everyone to make them want to find it, right? Now, the golden apple appears to be obviously discolored slightly. It looks more yellow than anything else, which is still possible for an apple to be. But nonetheless, it has no aura around it. You'd imagine that a very key item, or an item that plays a huge role in this game, or as a secret, would have some kind of glow to it, especially if they're trying to signify that it's not a normal apple. The developers have to know that there are apples that can look like this, and they would probably add a difference, like an extra shine to it, to make it look like gold-plated or metallic, or even a glow to make it seem like, like it's precious. But there's nothing. And also, why is this thing, that's supposed to be so secret, of less value than a remote or a key? Very, very strange to me indeed. I can't really tell you that that's a golden apple. It is not convincing at all. Also, if you just get 1 point, there's 4 possible points you can get. So I can't really figure out how this coordinates to all of these scores. No matter what point you get, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you will get a key that falls out of here. It does not matter, and I will show you right now. Let's just go ahead and kill one person. Bam. Okay, so we got 1 point. You'd imagine that somehow would correlate to 100 points. But we are gonna get a fancy schmancy key, as always, and you can get multiples. You can get multiple keys, surprisingly. Now let's kill a bad guy, because other people were saying, hey, you should kill the bad guys, the fast one, only, because that might make a difference. But we're gonna go over here and see that it only drops out a fancy schmancy. Nothing, apparently. Okay, so apparently the bad guys are not actual bad guys. We aren't supposed to kill them. So that's it for this range. Obviously, we're not going to get an apple or even a remote. You don't get either of those. You do find a remote around the house. That's the exact replica of this one. Just no apple. Well, I mean, we do have apples, but not a golden apple. Anyway, the next room. The classroom. Very important here. I know I made a mess of everything because these guys are dicks. But over here, if you look to the left, we have an alphabet chart. Bam. What do we see? A. Apple. Duh. A is for apple. That's the most common phonetic ever. Now we have an apple that is obviously discolored. This one seems way more shiny and golden, I'm doing air quotes right now, golden than any other apple. It is obviously an apple. It wouldn't be an A slot if it was a pear. Wouldn't make any sense. Or maybe it's some kind of fruit that I have no idea what it is. I'm not a fruit expert. I don't know. It could be something else. But it looks like an apple to me. Looks very much golden. Still doesn't have that glow that I'm looking for to signify something golden. However, it does have a lot of specular lighting. So I would assume that somehow a reflective surface off of an apple is still possible, but it could be golden. So This is important, okay? This is important because this actually got me thinking about the theory actually being a thing too. The reason why is because obviously Apple is assigned to A, and we can put stuff on the board to unlock other things. Like we put the math problems on the board, and we get a gun, right? Now, if we look over to all the stuff that we have available to us to use, we do have an A. We do have an A, right? We have a teacher, we have an A, and also a lot of the times people like to believe that teachers have this fond attachment to apples. So people are throwing around so many theories. There's so many things that I could tell you that people have been saying about this. The idea is that the golden apple is a symbol in the game rather than an actual thing. Like it could be either the key to accessing the entire alternate universe or world that the neighbor seemingly has access to. You would imagine that he would because of this apple, or it could be symbolic to another idea of the game, and I'll show you that in a second, but let's finish up here. We got the A. It doesn't do anything when you put it on the board literally anywhere. You cannot give it to the teacher. It doesn't transform into anything. Now, the reason why this is kind of important is because the game is triggered by things that aren't very obvious. Like, I don't know how it first started. I don't know who figured it out to bring the math teacher in here, but you know, obviously you have to have an item within a certain radius of something or on something in order for it to count or trigger another event. You don't get a sound effect. You don't get anything that tells you you're doing something right. So there could be a major sequence of events in this game that could lead up to the golden apple. Could lead up to it, but we haven't found it yet. Something could possibly have to do with this A. Another reason why there could be an A is because there's an F. And if anyone has been to school ever, more than likely you know about a grading system that's commonly used in the United States and elsewhere, that you get an A or an F depending on how well you do or how shitty you do, and you get this bad boy. I've gotten a few of those in my time. Now the other one is actually when you complete the shooting range, this entire sequence to get to the end game, and you get the jackhammer and break down this wall over to get to the boy in the crib, little baby teddy bear. There is a picture on the wall. Where is it? Up here, of a tree and a pig looking at the tree, oh so happily, and he's looking at an apple that is discolored from the rest of them. Now the other two are orange, I'd say. Then again, it could be poor lighting. Could very well be poor lighting. I should have brought a flashlight to see, but we're gonna go ahead and assume that they're probably red or meaning to be red. This one, however, is yellow. Now, why would it be yellow? Because it's possible for an apple to be yellow, or it could be a golden apple. He's looking right at that one. There's no question about that. And he's super happy about it, like he wants to eat that giant golden apple. Now, what's also significant about this and supports other theories is the clouds above the pig. The clouds could represent sorrow, despair, you know, if you want to go really, really artsy-fartsy deep with this painting, this kid's painting. You know, you have the rain, no matter how bad it is for him, this thing makes him happy. Right? Sit on that for a second, try to correlate it however you want to, but basically that could be a general idea or synopsis of a background theme of this game. We have no idea what direction the game is going, per se. I have seen footage of the upcoming version of the game. We don't really get much. We do know that the guy has some kind of obsession with a child that either was his or isn't his, and he just wants one. So it's very hard to say what this could represent directly, but we can kind of get the idea of the feeling of it. Now, of course, this is all theory. This could be a thing where the golden apple is going to be an item or a symbol in the game for something. It's just not in the game yet, but people are still convinced that it exists. So now, we are going to do our best to try and find it. The biggest thing that people told me to try was to look out on the trees, to try to find them on the trees, and I can try and do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already did it, but we'll take a quick look and glance and see if we can see in the trees within boundaries if there is one here. The problem is everyone wants me to look at trees outside the boundaries, asshole. Outside the boundaries, but I can't do that because it wouldn't be there if they were going to add it to the game. So I was thinking the golden apple could be above the grave, because the grave is like right here somewhere. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any apple here. No apples, not even a regular apple. These trees are not apple trees, clearly. But you never know, man. You never know. There could be some hidden thing somewhere. Some people were like, dude, you missed it. You walked by a tree that had a yellow thing on it. And I look, and it's just a leaf. There are yellow leaves on this, guys. I'm sorry if the YouTube encoding has screwed up the way it looks and, you know, makes it all blurry and pixelated more so than it already is. But that's not, like, if I were to look right here, right? You'd be like, oh my god, there's a golden apple right there. If you look real closely, you can see. No, it's not. This tree, however, I did notice, is at a kind of a slant. It's a rather strange tree. Someone didn't plant that correctly. Okay, so fuck you, dude. All right, so I'm gonna look at my house now. He's gonna come out, isn't he? He always gets unstuck for me. You guys talk about how he stays stuck, but not for me, dude. He always comes out. All right, so I think I've looked at all the trees. All the trees are exhausted as far as looking at. Oh yeah, he turned over here. Hey, buddy. Anyway, okay, so all the trees are looked at, okay? No golden apple in any tree currently. The next thing to do that everyone has been suggesting that I do is take the A and try to place it in different locations throughout the game. Okay, I will do that. Okay, so I got the A. I've already tried this before, but basically nowhere me putting this here makes a difference. It wouldn't even make any sense if I could put it here. I would imagine that the A and the F would have been great for like the teacher to put on there without me looking. Like if I did a good job or I didn't, that would have been funny. Also, I kind of noticed here, if you look around, Antarctica's spelled wrong. I don't know if anywhere else Antarctica is spelled that way, but clearly we're talking about, you know, everything else being spelled correctly in the English language, right? I don't know if there's any place that uses a K in Antarctica, but I noticed that too. That was kind of weird. So I thought maybe, you know, the K, let's see what the K says. It's kite. So I looked up in the sky, didn't see a kite, and I was like, damn, theory busted. You can't put the A anywhere over here. I can't give the A to anyone, so it's weird. People are saying you should use the E button too, but you guys got to realize the functionality of the buttons. Obviously, if I click, left click, that is going to use the item that's in my hand on whatever I'm looking at. That's how you put stuff on the board, yada yada yada, right? So I'm going to take the A in here. If I want to activate another item, I would press E. That would be activating things individually. So I would pick this up with F, drop it. I didn't mean to drop the A. Give me the A back. I need the A back, and then you can press E to open a door. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it works. So pressing different buttons isn't going to change how the functionality works in the game. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Okay, so I turned the electricity off, just thinking that maybe something different would happen, but I don't think so. Also, it's kind of weird that I can take these bulbs out. Is that only weird to me? Oh my god, I can get a fluorescent light bulb? What the hell, dude? You can pick up everything in this game. Oh god. Okay, so I tried to put the A on everything I could find in the game. Nothing works, though. It should be something, if it's gonna activate or trigger, I'd imagine it would be, like, you know, like this. Rather than me dropping it in random locations and hoping for the best, I was just running around left-clicking, seeing if something is gonna happen like this. That's how it would make sense to me. That's how it happens with the gun, that's how it happens with the jackhammer, that's how it happens with the letters over here and the numbers over here, so nothing, guys, nothing. Now, the next thing is something that, a little weird, because I didn't realize that it did this, but if you go over here, and you put something up here, right? It gets sucked up and then spit out over here. Strangely enough, and it has animations, like it's not something weird, they actually wiggle when it happens. Wiggle, wiggle, right? So, people are saying, hey, you should try to put every single item you can find inside of here and see if one turns into a golden apple, namely the apples that are downstairs in the dining room. So let's go ahead and try that out. These are tomatoes. Just kidding. These are the apples. Here we go. So they kind of look... Yeah, they're green as fuck. They are green as hell. So let's put one up here. See what happens. What comes out? Green apple. Damn. Now, other people were saying that I could put this on the table with the math teacher here, and I should do that before I solve any problems, and I'll get a different outcome. Strangely enough, I don't believe that's going to work. We can try that in just a second, but I want to make sure that I try this apple on everyone. I want to see if maybe she can hold it. Can she hold it in her hand? Nah, you're just a boring-ass teacher. So I was also thinking we could cook the apple. I don't think anyone said that just yet, but we'll try. And this furnace is extremely weird. The fire's always on, but this pipe allows water to either freeze or unfreeze. It's very, very strange. Now this looks super interactable. I'm actually wondering if I could take a crowbar to this. The crowbar's in his room, if nobody knew that, by the way. Crowbar's here, we're gonna take it. We can see him at the house, that's cool. Doesn't look like he can do anything. Okay, so is the apple golden yet? No. It is certainly not golden. Now, I have found- oh shit! That was my mistake, shit! Well, you know, this is kind of a perfect opportunity for me to try out, you know, doing the math teacher apple thing beforehand. So let's get over here. get the guy trapped and set this up for success. Alright, so the theory is, again, one more time, that I put an apple down for the teacher in the classroom before I solve anything, and that will trigger a different event. Instead of getting the gun, you will get maybe something that will continue on as another sequence, or the golden apple itself. Maybe it will turn golden. I don't know. Because the teacher becomes useless at a certain point, I imagine. Alright, get the teacher, this beautiful girl. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the apple too, just so I can take care of that as soon as I'm there. Maybe if I hold the apple in my hand by the time I get up there. You know what I mean? The chair just disappeared. That was super weird. Ah, shit. Okay, this is getting annoying. Get these freaking chairs out of the way. I wonder what happens if I pile everything on top of the shark. Will he, like, die or something? That'd be awesome. Okay, I got the gun, though. Weird. So does that count as a completed sequence? Here's your apple. Bam. I don't know if that counts as a completed sequence. Why is she doing that? I'm gonna throw an apple at her. I missed completely. There we go. Oh, yeah. How you like that? Alright, well, I got the gun. Alright, well, I'm gonna pick up another apple and take it with me. So apparently it's already unlocked. How much other stuff is unlocked? This is unlocked? It's not it's only half destroyed. Well, that's certainly weird. Okay, let's try this one more time. See if it makes a difference. I want to put the gun in here. Does the gun go up in there? Holy shit, it does. It gets spit back out. Fantastic. Okay, so we got a regular apple. Nothing as far as putting this in here makes a difference. Okay, got the jackhammer. Gonna use it. Okay, got the teddy bear. The signs are so hard. Is there anything pig-wise in this game? I don't think there's anything as far as a pig goes. It's very hard to try to figure out what is trying to be said here as far as that goes. Again, it could just all be a hoax or just a plot to confuse everyone from the developers, or it's something that's they have put in here very intricately and not allowed us to actually find. If it is a secret, it is a very well-kept secret because no one has found it just yet. Okay, so I got 4 more apples. I think I'm going to put them in the furnace and see what happens. I mean, there's really not much else that I imagine is obvious to get a golden apple. I'll put 4 in there. See if that does anything. I doubt it. Doesn't really make a difference to the flame. Yeah, I did notice there were claw marks, obviously. People were pointing that out, yeah. I mean, we saw them. We knew what was going on. We knew. Okay, so he's having fun with these doors. Let's put the bear in there. Is he gonna fuck up the bear? The bear looks like it's drowning! It's actually kind of mean. Let me go check on my apples. Let me go check on my caramelized apples and see how scared the hell out of me. Delicious they taste. Nothing has happened with these apples. They're all the same. I'm gonna go throw them at the neighbor's face, and we'll see if they turn golden. Okay, it does absolutely nothing to the neighbor. Surprisingly. I thought it was gonna work. Anyway, I'd say that we have covered just about everything for the golden apple theory. Unfortunately, I'm not able to find anything in the game just yet. Again, this could be something that is talked about, maybe going to be put in the future versions, but we actually don't really know if that's even going to be the case because everything in this is technically throwaway, and I'll talk about that also in the next video. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. If I missed anything, if you have any other theories about this golden apple that I should put to the test, I will definitely try to do my best. Fuck you, dude. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comment section below if I missed anything, and I will try it again if I have enough to go off of. But let me know your theories. Let me know what you think it might mean. Let me know if you actually found it. That would be fantastic. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. Thanks again for watching, guys. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!